And those things are. I think we think the same way in that regard of wanting to do that. I just thought it was just a great fit to come back.
How, you were here in 2017. How have you, when you talk to recruits, how has the brand changed, with high school recruits when they hear the name Illinois?
Well, obviously now, when we first got here, we were selling hope, we were selling a vision. Now you're selling results. Now you're selling Big Ten championships. Now you're selling world-class facilities, and it's been proven. So now it's just a matter of finding the right kids that fit our culture, that play the way we want to play, and that understand what it is to want to be an Illini and what it represents.
What's kind of the key to building chemistry on and off the court when there's a dozen new guys on the roster?
Time. It's like anything else. The way you spell love is T-I-M-E. And so you gotta love on them. You gotta get them to understand that they're all gonna have to sacrifice for one another. Getting their families to understand that they're all gonna have to that these kids are gonna have to sacrifice for one another because there's a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and they have to want to play for one another.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Coach, to go off that, so you've been to Illinois, then you went to Kentucky, came back. So when you look at this team, it's not fair to compare, but everybody in Asst talks about how good this team is, they can score. Do you agree with that, or do you think this is something that there still needs to be work on?
No, I think this is a very potent offensive team. You've got a lot of guys that have innate ability to score the ball in different ways, in various ways. You've got athleticism, you've got size, you've got toughness, you've got high IQ, field guys. So it's going to be a matter of how we bring it all together and how those guys sacrifice for one another.
You mentioned this is a big part of recruiting, to get kids to buy in and their families. How hard is it to get a roster this talented to get both the player and the families to buy in?
It's difficult, it's hard, but it's part of it. And when you talk about what the University of Illinois has to offer in terms of academically, when you talk about support, when you talk about facilities, there's a lot that this program and this institution has to offer student athletes to come in and participate. They have to be ready and willing to want to come in and buy into the culture and buy into the philosophy that we need to have. And they know they're going to play alongside other really good players. And so iron sharpens iron. And that's kind of the way, the kids that we're recruiting want to be pros. They got to play against pros every day, and they got to compete against pros every day.
Thank you.